Yes, you can build a gaming PC right now for less than $750 capable of playing all the latest titles. Welcome back to PC Builder, I'm Jason. With RAM and GPU prices coming down in April 2026 as the AI bubble begins to burst, what kind of gaming PCs can you build at various price points? We're going to go through 3 builds, a $750 build capable of playing all the latest titles at 1080p and 1440p, a $1,300 gaming PC build on the AM5 platform with DDR5 RAM and a very fast GPU, and a $2,000 gaming PC capable of crushing gaming at 1440p or 4K. If you get value out of this video, please give it a like or subscribe for more cool PC content. Let's jump into it. This video is sponsored by VIP SSD Key. Say goodbye to crazy expensive Windows licenses and that terrible Activate Windows watermark. Right now, use the links in the video description, head over to VIP SSD Key and get a Windows 11 OEM license for a great price. Pick your product license, then use the PC Builder discount code PC25 for an additional 30% off. Go to the activation settings on your PC, put in the code, and boom! Windows is fully licensed for a crazy low price. And they have Microsoft Office licenses too. Use the links in the video description. All right, let's jump into that $750 gaming PC build in 2026. Now, a lot of people I know are gonna say, how can you build a gaming PC in 2026? RAM prices are crazy, SSD prices are crazy. You can't possibly get any kind of decent playable performance. And I'm saying, look at the build that I'm doing right now. In fact, RAM prices continue to come down. We went over this in a previous video. SSD prices, while they're not coming down right now, they also have kind of stopped going up, which is a good sign for us. And we're getting playable performance at both 1440p and 1080p for $731 basically is what I did out the door here. What we want to focus on is getting the biggest, fastest graphics card that we can afford, then just get a CPU platform that's not overly going to bottleneck us. And we're going to shop smartly and we're going to take advantage of some really insane combo deals that we can get right now. For graphics card options, we have a couple of different ways we can go depending on how much we want to spend. If we want to hit that $750 price point, I would recommend sticking with something like the Arc B570 10GB GPU. Relatively fast, has a decent amount of VRAM, so it should be good for 1080p and most 1440p gaming out there, especially if we turn it down from like ultra to high to medium settings. Now, if we want to push this up a little bit closer to $750, maybe just a tad over, we can of course get the Arc B580 12GB for about $40 more. And I know a number of you are wondering like, what's the performance difference in this? We'll go over that in just a second. Your other options out there are 8GB GPUs. So let's check in. The cheapest RTX 5050 right now is $289. It's not a great price for it, but it is a stable price now. It's no longer $300. And I will say there are now some RTX 5060 GPUs that have come down from $349 and are closer to $320, but we are spending some additional money. So how much FPS can you expect for $750? Well, if we take a look at the Tech Power Up Arc B570 review, which I'll link in the video description, you can see that it's just a little bit slower than the Arc B580, about 15% slower. At 1080p, 73 average FPS is nothing to sneeze at. At 1440p, just under 60 average FPS, that's before any upscaling on that. And 10 gigs of VRAM, which is kind of nice because that pretty much insulates us on most titles at 1080p. And again, most titles probably at 1440p as well. Then if we take a look and add in the RTX 50 series card, so this is the RTX 5050 review on Tech Power Up, again, linked in the video description. The Arc B570 is not on here, but you can see it's going to be about as fast as the RTX 5050 in gaming, and it has more VRAM. Obviously, there is a difference in the upscalers on those two. The RTX 5060, if you can't afford it, is quite a bit faster. So then we want to get a CPU platform that's not going to overly bottleneck us. Here's an insane combo deal right now. You can see $254 for all this stuff. Check in with the cheapest DDR4 kit right now. It's actually, after you take the promo code there, $120 for a 16GB kit. That's insane. Last month, it was $135, almost $140 for the cheapest 16GB DDR5 kit. You can see how quickly some of the RAM prices are coming down. That's really, really good news on that side. But if you want the best deals, you're still buying a Newegg or Micro Center or RAM combo kit from your local retailer in whatever region you're in. Right now, Newegg's got this deal going with a Ryzen 5500, an ASRock B550M Pro 4, I love that motherboard by the way, and a 16GB kit of G.Skill Ripjaws 3200 CL16 RAM to it. If you add all this up, the RAM kit basically comes out to $84, $85 on it once you add all this stuff up. That is crazy good, and it rivals what we were seeing in terms of DDR4 pricing before the RAM crisis happened in October of last year. For the rest of the build, obviously we need an NVMe SSD. We're gonna get a 1TB one. The cheapest is $132. That's a Patriot P400 Lite, great drive. I wouldn't consider going with a SATA drive. I know they're like $5 or $10 cheaper. NVMe SSDs, prices have basically stabilized, which is good news. Fingers crossed that we'll see the same thing we see with RAM prices, which is they'll start to trickle down. But honestly, right now, this is a pretty good deal. For the PC case, I went with the Fantex XT M3. It's on sale over at Newegg right now for an insane $45 after the $5 promo code and then the $10 rebate. It's a pretty high-end premium case. 2 included ARGB fans up front, 1 in the rear. It's got some nice back connector features if you wanted to do a higher end build with it, and this is a crazy price. And then for the PSU, we're gonna go with a C-tier rated unit. This is the best unit on the market right now in terms of C-tier, $50. Roswell VSB, Roswell is Newegg's in-house brand. It's nice to see them make a comeback after a couple of years of essentially being off the market. It's ATX 3.1, it's got all the connectors we need, and the cables look nice. So for $730, that is $20 less than our target price of $750, we're gonna get a super performative, either 1080p gaming PC or 1440p across a wide range of titles, likely at medium to high details on that. 10 gigs of VRAM are gonna help power this system. We got a 1TB NVMe SSD slammed into this thing somehow, and it's basically gonna play everything that you need for the next couple of years. Let's jump into that $1,300 1440p gaming PC build in 2026, and this is gonna crush most games at 1440p at even ultra settings out there. We're gonna take advantage of a lot of combo deals that are going on right now over at Newegg and other places, so check your combo deals. I'll link them down in the video description. This is gonna finish out at $1,289.96, so we still have $10 left over. You can spend it wherever you want, but it's going to give you a very capable gaming PC, and I think it's going to look amazing too. Let's jump into our GPU options for our $1,300 gaming PC build for 1440p gaming. You've got a couple different options here that are going to get you really good FPS, and we'll go over the FPS numbers in just a moment. I decided to go with the RTX 5070 just to change things up, because I know I'm always going with Radeon GPUs, and some people get annoyed with me. I will give you the Radeon alternative in here in just a moment. But the 5070 is a good deal. Now, you might look at $650 and like, how is that a good deal, Jason? Are you out of your mind? But not only do you get the free Resident Evil Requiem game with it, which has been coming for a while, you also get an $80 PSU, basically, 750 watt B-tier rated PSU. That's the Roswell VMG. This is one of the ones we recommended in our best PSU 2026 guide. And that is completely free. So if you take that away from the $649 price point here, you're doing pretty well. Our AMD Radeon GPU option here is the ASRock Challenger. Right now, $20 off on the promo code, so $609, and you get Crimson Desert Game Bundle with this as well. So both these GPUs are relatively close to their MSRPs if you add all the extra goodies in. So how much FPS do you get for a $1,300 gaming PC build in 2026? Using either the 9070 or the 5070, let's take a look at this TechSpot benchmarks, including FSR4 and DLSS4 upscaling included. I'll link this down in the video description. They go game by game if you want to see what the differences are. But we can see the 9070 and the 5070, they're roughly evenly matched. The 9070, it's about 11% faster at native, almost 15% faster when you turn on upscaling on the quality modes. This is DLSS 4, by the way. DLSS 4.5 was not out when they did this. 4.5 is a little bit heavier in terms of GPU usage, so you're going to see a little bit less FPS when comparing it to something like FSR4 or 4.1, but the numbers should roughly hold. So 5070 keeps up pretty well. 9070 is faster though. All right, let's jump into the rest of the platform here. We want to get something that's not going to overly bottleneck us, but we need a faster platform than anything we're going to get on DDR4. So we're going to go with a great platform here. That's AM5 and DDR5 combo deals that we can get. I did want to do this with an Ultra 5 250K plus, by the way, Intel, but there's no combo deals. They all sold out the day it launched, and they haven't come back in stock. So you got to get on that, because otherwise we're going to go with this platform here, which not only is it fast enough for a GPU like an RTX 5070 or a 9070. It's future upgradable. We're going to be able to drop in a 9800X3D on this thing one day. Right here for $460, we're going to get the Ryzen 7600X, a really good ASRock B650M Pro RS Wi-Fi motherboard for $129. I absolutely love this motherboard. And then 16 gigabytes of DDR5 6000 CL38 RGB kit, along with a 240 millimeter all-in-one liquid cooler. It is not worth $85. I really wish you guys would stop doing that. By the way, Newegg, I would say this is a $50 cooler. So we add all this up, including that the CPU is not $210, it's $180. If you add all this up, you basically get the RAM kit for just under $100, which is really, really good deal. The good news is if you decide, hey, Jason, I don't like that motherboard, I don't like whatever, I want to get something different, Newegg's got tons and tons of these combos. You can check them out. I'll leave them linked down in the video description. Jump in there, find the one that suits you better, including you could pick up something like this for like $300. It's just the RAM and a B850 motherboard, a pretty good one. You basically kind of split the difference here between the two, and both of them are about $150, which is what I would pay for the motherboard, and I would probably still pay that for the RAM. Then you could go pick up like a 7800X3D or even the 7600X3D or 7500X3D, which actually are available right now at Amazon. And then for the rest of the build, not too dissimilar from what we just did, I decided to go with the Fantex XT M3 again because $47 is insane. But the good news is if you want to get a different PC case, cases are super cheap right now. They've taken a massive price hit. This is part of why building a gaming PC is still viable in 2026. Despite RAM and SSD prices, everything else is just so cheap. But speaking of those higher prices, I did again go with the Patriot P400 Lite for $131, 1 terabyte NVMe SSD. My advice here is go 1 terabyte. 2 terabytes is actually cheaper, but it's still like $270. I would say just get yourself what you need and then wait out these higher prices because eventually they will come down in a year or so. And then of course for the PSU, remember we're getting this one for free if we get the 5070 combo deals that I just showed you. But if you do need a PSU on the 9070, I would go with the Roswell VMG. It's the same one. It's a B-tier rated PSU, $70 for 750 watts. It's ATX 3.1, pretty good deal. So all told for $1,289.96, you're gonna get an amazingly performative 1440p gaming PC capable of hundreds of frames at ultra details across a wide range of titles. That's with upscaling, possibly even without with the 5070 or 9070. And you're going to get a gaming PC that has future upgradability. You're going to drop an X3D CPU, possibly a Zen 6 X3D in the future, maybe even Zen 7. That's a pretty good price for $1,300. Let's jump into that $2,000 PC build for 1440p high FPS gaming or 4K gaming. Either one of those, this is going to do super well. And I've added in some nice to haves in this, and I've spent a little bit extra money. So if you want to remove some of these items and go more price to performance, you certainly could probably get it a little closer to like $1,900 on this. Let's jump into what else. The GPU, of course, we've got the RX 9070 XT 16 gigabyte. Right now with a $30 promo code, you can get it for $699. There's also a deal with one that has a PSU to it as well. It's probably a little bit better deal, but the PSU is B tier rated, and I decided I want an A tier PSU for this one. So I'm gonna go with this one instead. There are a number of models anywhere between $699 and $750, depending on which one you want. And they're all gonna perform about the same. What are our NVIDIA options here? Honestly, your NVIDIA options kind of don't really exist. You're gonna spend upwards of $300 more for a 5070 Ti, and I just cannot justify a $300 price premium. DLSS 4.5 or whatever, be darned, basically. FSR 4.1 is just as good in my opinion, and I'm not gonna spend $300 more for the same performance. But if you want it, here you are. I'll leave links to the 5070 Ti deals that I can find in the video description. So how much FPS are we gonna get for $2,000 in 2026? And look at that, we're doing pretty well. We're looking at the same chart we looked at for the previous build, 5070 Ti though versus the 9070 XT. And you can see the 5070 Ti and 9070 XT locked pretty close in terms of native rendering. Now, obviously games that benefit NVIDIA, 5070 Ti does better. Games that benefit AMD Radeon, the Radeon GPU does better. When you turn on upscaling, you basically get about the same FPS. Now, if you go with DLSS 4.5, I should say, you're gonna see less FPS than DLSS 4. It's just a heavier algorithm, and it does cost you a little bit of FPS. Some people will feel like the image quality is worth it. You can decide, obviously, you can always decide to use DLSS 4 instead, but you're gonna get around 120, 115 average FPS. using upscaling on most titles at 1440p ultra settings. So for this one, we're just gonna max out the CPU. We're gonna go with the Ryzen 9800 X3D. Why not the 9850 X3D? There's just no combo deals right now over at Newegg, but they do drop them from time to time. So check the links in the video description for all the combo deals there. But right now, the best combo, in my opinion, is this one here. It's got the 9800 X3D, comes with the Crimson Desert game bundle, comes with the Tomahawk X870 motherboard, and a 32 gigabyte kit of DDR5 RAM. That's the Corsair Vengeance kit. This is 6400, I believe, CL36. It's basically the same speed as 6000 CL34 on it, which is really, really good. On top of that, we're gonna get a 240 millimeter all-in-one liquid cooler. I'm actually not even gonna use that in the build, by the way. I'm just gonna toss that. You can give it to a friend, sell it on eBay, whatever you want to recycle it, whatever you want to do with it. So in terms of the overall value here, if we just add up all the stuff that we're using, it's about $250 or so for the RAM kit, which is not bad for a 32 gigabyte kit, which right now are going for more like $360. For the cooler, you could use that 240 millimeter all-in-one liquid cooler. I just decided to go 360 here. The Thermalright Aqua Elite V6 360 is a really good alternative. It's a pretty good performer. It's not the highest performer. Then again, the 9800 X3D doesn't need that much cooling. This is definitely overkill for it. And I want to go 360 and I don't want to spend a lot of money. So I went with this one instead. You can check out our best coolers 2026 video if you want some other options. I decided to save a little bit of money on this one and go this direction. For the drive, once again, Patriot P400. Honestly, don't deviate from this. There's no reason to spend more money on SSDs right now. When SSD prices come down in a year to a year and a half, then we can kind of get into DRAM and stuff right now. Right now, you really just want to get enough to make your system viable, and you can upgrade in the future. For the PC case, I went with the Antec C3. It is $65. $65 comes with 4 included ARGB fans. 3 of them here are reverse blade on the intake on the side, and then we've got 1 exhaust on it. That 360 millimeter all-in-one liquid cooler is going to go right up at the top there. It is incredible. Last year, you would have spent over $100 for this PC case. This is how all the other PC parts prices have fallen, have basically cratered. So we're going to take advantage of these savings. Finally, for the PSU, I went with the ASRock Steel Legend 850 watt. Do we need 850 for this? We really need about 800. You could probably get away with 750. But look how cheap this is right now with the $10 promo code, $79 for an A tier rated 850 watt unit. If you watch our best PSU 2026 video, you know this is A tier, not even A minus tier. Really, really good unit, and look at that price. So all told, for just under $2,000, we are gonna get an amazingly performative 1440p or 4K gaming PC that's gonna carry you now on into the future through future GPU upgrades with that Ryzen 9800 X3D, not to mention 32 gigs of DDR5 RAM at relatively fast speed, so you can upgrade that CPU in the future along with the GPU. All the builds are linked down in the video description with those Newegg combo deals down there too. Check it out for current pricing and availability in your region. And if you got value out of this video, please give it a like and of course subscribe for more cool PC content. Like, did you check out our recent look at RAM prices? RAM prices are coming down as the AI bubble bursts. How much further are they going to fall? Check it out right here. Or check out our best GPU to buy in 2026. What's the best GPU, both new and used, that you can get right now? Check it out, and we'll catch you on the next one.